another theatre vlog. It's show 2 of the Edinburgh Fringe, and I'm joined by Sean and Abby! And
Abby's my real life friend, by the way.
real life, not internet, real life.
It requires a fake one. Anyway.
You saw Six, what, 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago?
Not? Yeah, 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. And they're coming back with me because it's that good. Am I going the right way?
We're looking at the hot drama, sorry.
Oh, guys, my show to get to. Yeah, we're heading to Six. I'm very excited.
Oh, you got me when I didn't know the lyrics.
We just came out of Six.
Rukaya said many a time before in the vlogs that I don't fangirl or anything.
Sean,
fangirling hard.
Screaming, singing along,
I have never
dancing,
seen, like,
stamping. I was jumping at the
you were
claps.
literally,
I was so
and
excited.
like, when you were cheering, your arms were like going out to cheer. I was like,
Love them.
I've never seen Sean
I love
react
it so
this way.
much.
I'm obsessed. I don't know if my heart rate is ever going to calm down. I think I need a drink, like.
I think I need like a tactical chunder to like get the
Oh,
excitement
Sean,
out.
oh, Sean, darling, no.
Too far, too far.
Seriously, no, I did.
And we just met all the queens, so that was cute.
All the queens in more ways than one.
I'm a queen.
I'm a queen.
There were 9 queens in it.
True. True. Tea. Right, we're gonna go get a drink and then maybe form some thoughts. I was about to say coherent thoughts, but that proved my point that it's not going to be the case. Let's get drunk. Wow, Sean is in such a good mood today. Ellie from Plymouth has joined. There she is, there she is. This is Ellie from Plymouth, that is her full title. We're back at 6. We're predictable. It's actually Ellie's first time.
It's my third time, so isn't that weird? I don't get
Yeah.
to see things that many times.
You literally don't. You're probably going to hate it after this time.
I won't.
Can't hate 6. Cannot hate 6. I'm buzzing. And we're going to have a swing on for Jane Seymour. So that's really exciting. and a much better view this time. We were right on the side the other time, so this is really central, really fun. Very excited. Oh, and Sean's happy again.
Sorry, I'm just in a weird mood today.
He's a grumpy arsehole today.
Apologies for my glum face.
And welcome back to the chatty section of the vlog. As you saw, I went to see Six the musical twice at the Edinburgh Fringe. I was planning on just seeing it once, and then when we left the first show I immediately booked another ticket. So yeah. A bit of backstory for you if you don't follow me on social media. I have been fangirling like a mad woman over this show. Sorry, not sorry about what I said. Yeah, I saw Six back at the Arts Theatre in January. It's coming back to the Arts Theatre at the end of this month, so from the 30th of August until I think the 23rd of September. But they did some like one-off nights in January, and I've been hearing people raving about this show, so I was like, wow, everyone's loving it, let's go see what it's about. And I joined the crowd and I fell in love with it too. So when I knew that they were going back to the Fringe, I really wanted to go to the Fringe anyway to support my friend Sean, who had written a play and was performing it there. But also I was like, I get to see Six again. I'm such a fangirl for it. I love it. So it's about the wives of Henry VIII, hence Six Wives, and we get to kind of find out more about their stories, what happened in the relationships, and the story is structured as if it's kind of like a competition to find out who had the hardest time, but then there's a nice happy twist at the end, which I won't spoil you on. The queens have changed since I last saw the show. They've had a bit of a recast because obviously people are in different jobs now, but I saw these queens performing at West End Live, which was so amazing. The fact that they got to do a slot at West End Live, that was amazing. I was a little bit emotional seeing how the crowd reacted to them, and I have again been very emotional while at the Fringe seeing how people have been loving this show, because I am a very strong supporter of new musical theatre and there being more of it. So to see a new show, a new musical succeeding the way it is, it just really warms my heart. Six was booked in for the first day of me being at the Fringe. Obviously, I am impatient. So Sean and his friend Abby joined me. They'd actually seen Six a couple of days before that for the first time. They loved it so much that I was like, why don't you come again with me? So they did. It was quite a shame I missed the first song of the show because I had just got to the Fringe. I'd seen like one show before Six, but I went to pick up my ticket for Six and the people in front of me were like faffing around and then they were like paying separately. So by the time I managed to pick up my ticket, the show had already started. Like literally as I ran over to the doors, they shut them and I was like cursing the people that were in front of me in the queue. But I managed to obviously go in after the first song and we still had an amazing time. It was so much fun. God, this show just makes me really happy because I think it's so cleverly written. It's really funny, also heart-wrenching at times, but mostly funny. You really get to see each queen's personalities. The actresses in this show are just unbelievably talented. It's such a fun show. I think there's something wrong with you if you walk out of this show not having one of the songs stuck in your head or if you've not had a good time. I feel like even if it's not something that you completely fall head over heels into fandom about, you'll have enjoyed it at the very least. So anyway, we had an amazing time, and then for Sean and I, our friend Ellie was coming up to Edinburgh and we wanted her to see the show as well. And I was like, well, I'm gonna book to see it again anyway, so let's see if Ellie wants to join on Wednesday. She did. Because she also really wanted to see it. We had much better seats on Wednesday, which was nice as well. It's in the underbelly. It's in the big purple cow at the Fringe. The first time we were sat like on the side bit, so it wasn't looking straight on, it was looking at the side of the show. So this time we were very central and that was really great. And we also had a swing on for the show, very excitingly. So there's obviously the 6 queens in the show, and then there's one girl, Grace, who is a swing for every single queen. She literally just graduated. This is her professional debut and she's being a swing for 6 characters. My mind is blown. And we've been chatting on social media beforehand, so I was like, well, I want to go along and support her as well. So it all worked out perfectly. She was so good as well. So proud of her. I cannot imagine what her brain must feel like, you know, because for most of the ensemble bits of the show, each queen's moves are like quite similar, but then obviously it's the way you're then like where you need to go from A to B and then C to D and everything like that. So I was just blown away by the fact that she manages to do that very confidently. Shook. Oh my god, I feel like I'm just a rambling mess about this show, but I love it. So let's talk about the other cast members as well. So 2 of the cast members have stayed on from when I saw it in London. Amy Atkinson has stayed on, she plays Catherine Howard, and Natalie Paris, who plays Jane Seymour normally, she's also stayed on, but then everyone else is new. So that's actually really exciting. I love the actresses who played it in London beforehand, but it's always nice to shake things up as well. So I'm gonna run through the new actresses in the show. I'm really scared that I'm gonna butcher her name. Shania Richard Knoll. I'm so sorry if I've said your name wrong. You can correct me when I come see the show multiple times in London. I've just read actually that she's from Northampton, which is my like home county. Represent Northampton. She plays Catherine of Aragon. And then we've got Millie O'Connell playing Anne Boleyn, Alexia McIntosh playing Anna of Cleves, Maya, I'm gonna say her surname wrong and I feel really bad, Quansabreed, and then obviously Grace, and again Grace, I don't know how to say her surname, I'm sorry. So yeah, oh my gosh, they are all just so fantastic. And what I really love about the show is that each song is very different, and then I feel like the queens get to have a lot of fun with their songs as well. And oh my god, every song is basically a banger. And I'm so excited. They're releasing more tracks on Spotify and iTunes and things like that. So I'm gonna link to those down below so you can check them out. It's been written by Toby Marlowe and Lucy Moss, and the journey that they've had with Six, I think, is just incredible. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing them while up at the Edinburgh Fringe, so that video will be up at some point soon, if not already. I'll link to it below if it is. So they had Six on at the Edinburgh Fringe last year, and I believe that was just with their university society, like musical theatre society, and then obviously the right people kind of saw it, saw how good it was. Then they did the couple of nights here and there in London, and they all basically sold out. I only managed to get a ticket because they added an extra night due to demand, so I feel so lucky having seen that. And then they've done Norwich, Cambridge, Edinburgh Fringe now, coming to London, and then doing more UK venues. I'm just so proud of them because you hear stories of it taking years for people to get a musical on its feet. So I feel like it's a mix of them being incredibly talented and writing a fantastic show, but also being at the right place, right time, the right people, seeing the show. There are so many factors involved, but genuinely it's such a good show. It's really cleverly written. It's very funny. It's very catchy. Oh my God, some of the rhymes in this show with like the historical terms and mixing that modern element into it, I'm obsessed. Like, I am beyond obsessed. It's crazy. I just don't know how to talk about this show without being a fangirl because I love it so much. It's one of those shows that it really gets me pumped. It makes me really happy. I just think it's so clever. I know I've said that a million times, but I think that is the truth of it. And everyone in it is so talented, and they're literally putting like so much into every performance, and it's paying off because the show has been like selling out almost every night of the Edinburgh Fringe so far, and people are loving it. Like I am that person who is like stalking on Twitter and Instagram and things like that to see what people are saying about it. I'm obsessed. Take a shot every time I say that, you're gonna be wasted. I just really love the fact that it's making history fun, and like, I'm British. I had a section of my history lessons about the Tudor history, but we never really got into the wives of Henry VIII apart from the divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. Like, that's all I knew about them until I saw Six. So not only is it an incredibly fun show, but I am learning as well. And I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying these new musicals that are historical, but like not boring. And as I mentioned earlier, it's really great that no performer in the show is the same. They're all bringing something different to the table, and then as a collective, they are just so fierce and powerful. And especially like females in musical theatre, I am all for them getting a show completely about them, taking men out of the equation and like highlighting their strengths and their stories. I am so here for that. I don't feel like this was a constructive review in any way because I'm too much of a fangirl. It's not going to be unbiased. I love it, and you should see it. If you're going up to the Edinburgh Fringe, you need to book a ticket. If you can see it in London, you need to book multiple tickets, if we're talking about me. And then if they're coming near you on the UK dates after London, you need to book a ticket. Do you sense a theme here? You need to book a ticket. As I said, I'll link the website down below so you can see if it's coming near you, and I'll link the Spotify and iTunes stuff so you can listen to some of the songs, and as I say, hopefully we should be getting more of them in the future. I would love to know if you've been to see Six, if you saw it at the Edinburgh Fringe last year, if you saw it in the London dates, if you're seeing it at the Fringe now, if you saw it at the recent UK dates. I want to know if you've seen it. Hopefully you loved it as well and you want to like go crazy about it like I am. I can't control my fangirl. Basically, if you've seen Six, I want to know. Let's chat about it. I really want to talk more about every single performer in this show, but they're all just so good. I'll literally be here for like an hour, so I probably shouldn't because no one will watch the video otherwise, but they are all absolutely incredible. And I'm so glad as well that the show has cast like a lot of newcomers, because I'm sure they could have easily found people that are like known in the industry. I don't know how many of them are like newly graduated. I know Grace obviously is, and Maya as well. I'll try and put a number on screen if I can figure it out. And I think that's another amazing thing, to cast newcomers and give them this big break. Like, they're smashing it at the Fringe, and hopefully that's going to continue through London and beyond. That's just a really exciting opportunity for them to have. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of me in the future. As I say, look out for the interview with Toby and Lucy that I've done. That'll be either on the channel or coming soon, and lots of Edinburgh Fringe content in general to come, so make sure you're subscribed. I hope you're all doing really well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!